So, have you ever wondered what it really takes to turn a simple idea into a fundable Indian startup? Well, today we're going to break down the exact blueprint for one. We're calling it Gaadi Ka Guardian Angel, and it's a smart solution designed for pretty much every single vehicle on India's roads. And this right here, this is the absolute heart of the entire idea. You're not just selling a piece of hardware or another app. No. You're selling an emotion. You're selling peace of mind. And for the crores of vehicle owners in India, that is the ultimate product. So what exactly is this Gaudika Guardian Angel? Just imagine a small, really smart little device that acts like a silent protector for any car or truck or van. It's constantly watching over its health, its safety, and it tells you about problems before they even happen. Okay, but why is this idea so powerful? Why now? Well, it's because it dives headfirst into the tough, everyday reality for millions of drivers in India. You know what I'm talking about. That daily battle with traffic, terrible roads, and that constant nagging fear of a breakdown. And these pain points, they are so real and specific. I mean, for a regular person like you or me, a breakdown is a major headache, right? But for a small business owner, a tempo driver, a delivery guy, it means denda chopit. Business is ruined. Their entire livelihood just grinds to a halt. Then you factor in all the older vehicles with zero modern tech, plus the constant worry about rising fuel costs and theft, and you've got this massive daily tension that this product is built to solve. And if you think this is some kind of small, niche problem, get this. According to the chairman of Maruti, a staggering 88% of Indians simply cannot afford a brand new car. Let that sink in. This isn't a niche market. We're talking about the vast majority of the entire country. The sales data from 2024 just confirms this story. We saw more used cars sold than new ones. 5.4 million versus 4.1 million. The takeaway here is crystal clear. The real mass market in India isn't in those shiny new showrooms. It's in the older, secondhand cars that are absolutely desperate for a technology upgrade. So, we've laid out the problem, right? We see the scale of it. Now, let's introduce the hero of the story, a simple but incredibly powerful Gardika black box designed to solve all these complex problems. You know, the real magic here is just how simple it is. Pretty much every car made in the last 20 years has this standard little port. It's called an OBD2 port. You just plug this device right in, and boom, it instantly connects to the car's main computer, its brain, and starts sending all that vital information straight to an app on your phone. No mechanic needed. But listen, this isn't about throwing a bunch of confusing data at you. It's about delivering real-world value, and it does that through three core functions. First up, Bhavishvani. Think of it as a prophecy. It predicts problems before they happen. Second, you get a live health report, which is kind of like having a digital doctor for your car. And third, Suraksha Kavach, a complete safety shield. Let's make this really concrete. Bhavishvani isn't some kind of magic. It's just smart machine learning. The system is always analyzing data trends, like, say, your battery voltage slowly dropping over time. It then sends you a simple, actionable alert like this one. Your battery might fail in the next 15 days. Get it checked. That single feature prevents a sudden breakdown, saves you money, and just erases that constant tension. It's a game changer. Okay, this all sounds great, but it must be expensive to build, right? Nope. And this is where we get to the really exciting part, the frugal engineering blueprint, or as we might call it, Jugaad se innovation, building high-impact technology on a shoestring budget. The secret sauce is in the incredibly cheap, off-the-shelf hardware. The brain of this whole device? It's a tiny microcontroller that costs just 230 rupees. Its ears, the part that listens to the car, a mere 74 rupees. You add in basic cellular and GPS modules, and you can build a working prototype for less than 1,000 rupees. This right here is what makes the entire business model possible. And the software strategy? It's just as lean and smart. Instead of wasting time and money building two separate apps, you use something called Flutter to build for both Android and iOS at the same time, basically cutting your development costs in half. You use simple, fast tools like Python and Flask for the backend, And you pick a database like Supabase that has predictable pricing so you don't get any nasty surprise bills. Every single choice is about getting the maximum impact for the minimum cost. So, we have the killer idea and we have the frugal tech plan. How do we actually, build it? Let's move from the blueprint to the practical, real-world steps of bringing this product to life. The very first thing to get is the crucial difference between a proof of concept, a POC, and a minimum viable product, or MVP. A POC is basically your internal science experiment. It just answers one simple question: does the technology work? But an MVP? That's for real users, and it asks a much, much more important question. Will they actually pay for this? A successful MVP demands ruthless focus. You have to solve only the customer's biggest, most urgent problems. So for a small fleet owner, what's that? It's live GPS tracking and it's fuel monitoring to stop theft. That's it. All the fancy stuff like engine diagnostics and driver behavior scores, they can wait. The goal isn't perfection. It's to launch, learn, and then iterate. And now for the billion-dollar question. Or maybe in this case, the 20 lakh rupee question. Where does the money come from to build all this? Let's talk about funding.
Now, most people think they need to immediately start chasing angel investors or big VCs. But for an early-stage Indian startup, your very first and often most accessible investor is the government of India itself.
This is the number you need to remember. 20 lakh rupees. Through something called the Startup India Seed Fund Scheme, a recognized startup can get up to 20 lakh rupees as a grant. And that's not a loan, it's a grant. Money to develop your prototype and prove your concept. This is what's called non-dilutive funding, which is just a fancy way of saying you don't give up any ownership in your company. And here's where the strategy gets really clever. You can actually stack your funding, so you get that 20 lakh grant from the central government, while at the same time getting, say, a monthly allowance and help with your rent from a state government. And what's the gateway to all of this? A government-recognized incubator. They help you get in the door and manage these funds. So there you have it. We've just walked through the entire blueprint, from a simple idea that solves a huge, real Indian problem to a frugal tech plan, a super focused product strategy, and a clear path to getting your first funding without giving up a single share. And it really leaves you with this one thought. If a device that costs less than 1,000 rupees to build can tackle a massive billion-dollar problem like vehicle security, just imagine how many other everyday Indian challenges are out there, just waiting for their own guardian angel.